Good morning, JP Morosi. Matty V says you look like you're right out of a Scotch ad this morning. I think that's a good thing. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a compliment. I was just trying to contemplate during the break and during the last segment exactly what the advice was. That was one of my other big questions there. What are friendly viewers trying to guide me to do? And by the way, in the midst of scrutinizing my wardrobe, we didn't notice that Elena has done some new artwork behind me. I changed up the look. Yes, so because it's Valentine's Day, I think over my left shoulder, we've got 2 macarons that Elena has drawn. And then there's another like Valentine's inspired creation above the macarons. So you never know.
Isn't it macaroons?
Macaron, it's French.
Oh, je parle français, honey. You're very fancy.
Je parle un petit de français. Oui.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations, Elena. Did an excellent job. Hey, JP, I feel like we're obsessed with the AL East this offseason, and rightfully so. Last time we talked about the Red Sox, it was about Theo Epstein going back, and now perhaps a fan favorite heading out. There's interest in Kenley Jansen. That's what I do know. Tell me more.
There is, Lauren, and this is a very interesting story in the days before spring training opens for the Red Sox, basically a week from right now, is that Kenley Jansen reportedly is available. And I checked around in the industry the last couple days to try to figure out just how real this story is. And I was told the Red Sox are, in fact, listening on Jansen, but there has to be a second part of this. If you trade him, it's not just to trade him, it's because either A, Craig Breslow trying to bring in multiples of pitching back to replenish the depth of the Red Sox, or that by clearing some of Jansen's salary, that they could potentially free up enough money to then make a play for one of the available free agents. Now, the question is which teams could acquire Jansen right now? The quickest answer, and one that a lot of people in the industry think is at least somewhat viable, is the Dodgers, because of course they know Jansen well. They've been very aggressive this offseason, as you may have heard, and they also want to continue adding more pitching to their bullpen. So if he moves, keep an eye on the team that he spent the vast majority of his career with. I would also mention one more team that's been somewhat quiet this offseason, the Phillies. The Phillies, of course, they brought back Nola, but for the most part, they have not really addressed the main reason why. It was the Diamondbacks and not themselves who advanced to the World Series last year, and that's their bullpen. So again, Jansen is available. The Red Sox want either pitching back or the potential to reinvest some money in other pitching, and 2 teams to watch there, the Dodgers and the Phillies.
All right, owed $16 million in his final year with Boston. It will be 1 year, 7 for Gary Sanchez to the good land. They already, JP, have William Contreras just bulking up, yes?
Yes, and credit our John Heyman with the report on this. Gary Sanchez to Milwaukee, 1 year and $7 million. I love this signing because you could have Sanchez as your majority time DH. The Brewers may use that DH role as a rotation, but if your role for Sanchez at $7 million is prominent DH plus a little bit of a backup catcher with William Contreras, that's an excellent role, I believe. So they're using some of the money that they freed up from the Corbin Burns trade. You look at what Sanchez has been able to do. Yes, the average is low and there's going to be a lot of swing and miss, but look at that OPS plus. He was an above average major league bat last year for the Mets and the Padres. The power is there as well. You go to a ballpark that's known for being very favorable to power bats. I like this move a lot for the Milwaukee Brewers.
And he seems to be at his best with consistent playing time, right? Good for him. I was reading, JP, about Vlad Jr. winning his ARB case, and then I looked at the numbers, 19.9 million. That's a big number in terms of ARB cases.
Big number, historic number in terms of the award that was given to Vlad Jr. through the arbitration process. Very important to note, this is his second to last year before hitting free agency. So this number is important because it establishes where next year's raise can come from. It's also important because it reflects that there was no real public indication, Lauren, that the sides were close at all on a multi-year deal. And I think that is emblematic of where the goalposts are to begin this season. And we talked about this yesterday, the declining home runs year over year, the declining OPS year over year, average, RBI, really in every category. But still, this is a very productive player over the course of his career, and still a very young player. The point was made recently, I can't recall who said it, but it's worth crediting here and mentioning. He's the same age now that Aaron Judge was in his first full season in the major leagues.
It's hard to believe.
That's how young he is.
Yeah.
And it's important to point that out. So for the Blue Jays, a lot of pressure. I really believe, Lauren, Toronto has as much pressure on them this year as any team in the major leagues, because the clock is ticking on their two franchise cornerstones in Vlad and Bo. If they get off to a slow start, we'll see if there are any trade rumblings that we discuss on MLB Central around the month of June or July.
It seems like we go into every season saying the Blue Jays are the sexy pick. We will see. Hey, the Caribbean Series still going on, been exciting. And last we talked about was Panama was undefeated. That was a couple days ago. And now a no-hitter by Team Venezuela. Tell me more.
A no-hitter, only the second no-hitter in the history of La Serie del Caribe was last night. Angel Padron from the Venezuelan champions, Los Tiburones de la Guaira. And by the way, I always love this. It was Ozzie Guillen and Carlos Zambrano making sure that Padron was able to stay in and finish this no-hitter last night at Lone Depot Park. As we mentioned, just the second one ever. He was, for a time, a minor league starting pitcher and erstwhile reliever in the Boston Red Sox organization, most recently in 2019. Look at the fan support there. The final out, the celebrations of Angel Padron. He actually spent last summer pitching in the Mexican Summer League, so a veteran of the Caribbean leagues. What a moment for him last night. My dear friend Enrique Rojas did a great interview with him on the field afterward and Angel spoke about how he was insistent that even though there was a very long bottom of the eighth inning, he was going to go out there and finish that off. So felicidades to Angel last night. And also Curaçao. Curaçao is in the semifinals, which begin today. Curaçao defeats Puerto Rico yesterday. A lot of names that you may know from recent years of the Dutch national team, including Jurickson Profar, Jeremy Profar, Andrelton Simmons, Didi Gregorius, all of them playing for the Curaçao champions, the Curaçao Suns of the Curaçaoan Winter League. And one of my favorite winter ball players, you see him right there in the celebration line, Roger Bernardina. The ageless Roger Bernardina, who I believe, Lauren, will still be playing in the World Baseball Classic 10 years from now. The great Bernie. So felicidades to them as well. The matchups today, the DR plays Panama at 3 p.m. and then Curaçao plays Venezuela at 8. The semifinals of the Caribbean Series in Miami, Florida
International
today.
Baseball, JP.